Welcome to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things West Indies cricket. By the fans, for the fans.
Timar Roach, and I listen to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I'm your co-host, Machel. Let me take this thing off. I forgot I even had this on, you know. I'm your co-host, Machel St Patrick Hewitt, one half of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Yes, people. It's another watch-along. It's the last game in St Lucia before we move to the Trinidad leg. So, set up my thing. Last game in St. Lucia before we move to the Trinidad leg of CPL. St. Lucia Kings, bottom of the table, have to win today. Surely they have to win today. They cannot afford another defeat. I'd argue that if they lose today, that's it for them. They're out of the tournament. Yes, mathematically they're not, but they've played five games, only won once. Whereas the defending champions, the St Kitts Nevis Patriots, have also played 5. They've also only won once as well, but they have the advantage of having had 2 rainouts, so they're actually on 4 points compared to the Kings' 2 points. Very quickly, if you've missed it, here are the teams. So the home side, the St. Lucia Kings, Johnson Charles, Faf du Plessis, Narushan Dick Fella, Roston Chase, Tim David, who I need to double check that actually, because Tim David, yes, he's on screen. He will leave after today's game, having been selected by the Australians. Roshan Primus, David Visa, Larry Edwards, I think that's his first game in this year's CPL. Alzari Joseph, Matthew Ford. Need to look to see if Matthew Ford has played in CPL yet this year. Starred recently in the minor league in the States, Kesrick Williams. Whereas the St Kitts Nevis Patriots, DJ Bravo is ill. He's been replaced by Rashid Khan. Now, for those of you who don't understand how Rashid Khan has suddenly turned up, the Patriots were supposed to have Hasaranga. Hasaranga just starred in Sri Lanka's victory in the Asia Cup today. And due to international duty, he will no longer be joining the St Kitts Nevis Patriots, and Rashid Khan is the replacement for Hasaranga. What a replacement. I mean, yes, they might have lost their captain for today, but Rashid Khan, come on. You have to assume he's going to have a big impact today as well. So anyways, the St Kitts Nevis Patriots, Spiceman, Lewis, who will captain the side, Brevis, Darren Bravo, Sherfane Rutherford, Dwayne Pretorius, Rashid Khan, Dwayne Jansen, Sheldon Cottrell, Jaden Carmichael, and Akila Danajaya. So those are the 2 teams. Welcome to everyone who's in the live. Like, share, subscribe. You should see the ticker tape at the bottom now says road to 4K, because people, we made it. We made it to 3K. 3K might not sound a lot to you lot, but if you've been a follower of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, you'll know that we only really started taking YouTube slightly seriously as a content provider in the last year. So thank you to everyone who's been on the wave. So I guess we have to now say it's a road to 4K, given that we have passed 3K. So if you're new at any point in this live, do press like, do subscribe to the content. And there has been some new content on the Caribbean Cricket Podcast YouTube channel. If you're yet to watch it, we recently had a sit-down interview with the CEO of the Royals Group. And when I say the Royals Group, I mean Rajasthan Royals, Barbados Royals, and the new South African franchise, the Pearl Royals. So we spoke with Jake Lush McCrum, the CEO of the Royals Group, and I think it's a really fascinating listen. Obviously, we're going to big up our own content, but it's generally a really fascinating listen. So go listen to that. That's on our YouTube channel, and actually we've just dropped it on all the podcasts streaming platforms as well. But time has counted down. We're going to play. Sheldon Cottrell's going to take the new ball. Will Sheldon Cottrell be in the West Indies T20 team. I don't think he'll make it, but a good performance today might swing it. And first ball immediately goes past the outside edge. Not a lot of zip on the ball. Anyways, let's see who's in the live. Big up Fireball. Big up Eshwa. Eshwa says, "Who's your team?" What, my team? Talawars. Fireball says, "Still recovering from that licks." Well, boy, TKR haven't, again, not much bounce in this wicket so far, based on the first two deliveries from Spiceman, from Sheldon. But 2 dots. Yeah, TKR just haven't fired yet. But you know what's? Everyone's obviously looking at the Barbados Royals going, well, 5 wins from 5, and everyone will say that they're the favourites. But this to me looks like one of those tournaments where get yourself into the final 4, and you're in with a chance regardless. So I don't know. Anyways, that one's guided through the covers by Johnson Charles. 4 runs. Delicate one there from Charles, and that gets the Kings off and running, 4 without loss. Demo says Darren Bravo officially plays a specialist DJ Bravo brother. Boy, I'm looking for a big innings from Darren today, because boy, he's making it look sticky for me to defend him. Javed says congrats for the 3K. Yeah, big up yourself, Javed. Same from Demo. Big up yourself, Demo. Listen, I still think Darren Bravo's got a test career, I still think he's got a test career if he's willing to commit himself to the red ball game. Or that one tucks up Johnson Charles Naram. Aaron says, does the CPL make money overall? No, I think they just about break even. When we spoke to the CEO or COO of CPL, Pete Russell, I think he told us that CPL is in the stage of just breaking even. It might just be about making profit now. But that doesn't mean the individual franchises are making profit. Oh, and again, Charles goes for the wild hoik across the line. Catches him on the thigh. No run. I might have more energy today, people. So what I've realized is when these Saturdays happen, or Sunday games happen, I catch energy because it's the first midnight game of the week. If you think of this as the start of the week, and I can survive it. But you see, when it gets to those midweek ones, I'm scrambling, fully scrambling. But I should be able to make it to the end of the 20 overs today. And if you're new to the lives and you're like, end of the 20 overs, what do you mean 20 overs only? Remember, people, and that's no run again. And that's the end of the over. Good over from the soldier. 4 runs from it only. And the Kings are 4 without loss after the first over. Yes, if you're new to this live and you don't know what I'm talking about, I am writing match reports for the official CPL website along with Santoki. So I do the first half of the match live, watch along wise. And then I go into the living room and watch the rest because then I write the match report. So I do these to help to have, obviously, it's a community thing. You lot get to chat. We get to talk about West Indies, cricket, CPL, blah, 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 blah. But most importantly of all, it keeps me awake. And then I go into the living room to watch the second half, battle sleep, and then wake up, get like 1.5 hours sleep, and then go to work. It's long. It's long for me. We're halfway through the tournament, though. I only need to get through, I don't know how many more matches. Let me look at my diary. I just need to try and live through. How many more matches have I got left in my locker? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more matches of this after today to live through. So if you're wondering about the lives and the next live I'm going to be doing, people, I'm doing TKR versus Barbados Royals for the midnight game. Midnight, I mean UK time on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, I'm doing the chicken curry versus curry chicken derby, TKR versus Guyana. And then you won't see me again till Saturday when I do TKR versus the Talawars Yes, we try and live through this, people, you know? We do it for the love of the game. Let's see who've Seamus says my stream of this match is behind yours, so I'm getting to watch it with spoilers. Yeah, and I'm watching it on my iPad, Seamus, so the people in the live will be at least 6 seconds ahead of me, minimum. Yeah, Fireball. Those 10 a.m. games are purely for the India money. Make no mistake. Because if you think about the early editions of CPL, unless I'm going mad in my head, oh, and that one's smashed down the ground by Johnson Charles for another boundary. I've got a question to ask you lot, people. Does Johnson Charles get in? So I've been saying all along that Spiceman should get into the West Indies T20 squad as a backup wicketkeeper / backup opener. Johnson Charles also can wicket keep. I mean, he's probably worse than Spiceman as a wicket keeper, but he can also wicket keep. So here's a question. Charles is only 33. It's kind of like the forgotten man of West Indies cricket. Based on his form in this tournament, would you take Johnson Charles to the T20 World Cup as the backup opener / wicket keeper? Remember, that would create 2 spaces. Obviously, King and Mayers will open. Charles or Fletcher or neither? What are you lot saying in the chat? I'll come to you about that. Arian saying you definitely see more energetic today. 100% Arian. The midweek last week, for anyone who was with me in those lives, you were the cat. I was scrambling at one point. I think the second game in midweek, I was just talking to you lot. I think I was dreaming, you know. I think I was awake, but I was asleep, and I was just chatting pure foolishness. I'm out here dying for CPL. They need to CPL got these games at 10 a.m. for the Indian audience, but don't want to think about the UK audience. Anyways, as we were saying, early editions of CPL, if you remember, I think there was a game at 3 p.m. No, that's wrong. No, how did it used to go? I seem to remember that there was a game at like 7 p.m. UK time, which would have meant it was like 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Caribbean time, then the evening game. There definitely wasn't this gone. Oh, hold on. What's going on there? What's going on there? Everyone's gone up here. Dwayne Jansen has angled one across Faf du Plessis. I think Faf has hit the ground with the bat. Spiceman and everyone else went up. Evan just smiling. Evan ain't taking that. 10 without loss, end of the over. Yeah, so I seem to remember there was like an afternoon game and then the evening bashment game. Whereas ever since COVID, because obviously, I don't know if you remember the first tournament in COVID, I think it was the 2020 tournament when there was no fans. They did triple header games. Does everyone remember that? And I think they must have seen. I'm not saying this is facts, people. This is what I think. I think they must have seen. Something in my throat. I think they must have seen that the Indian audience for the 10 a.m. games was so huge. Slower ball there from Cottrell. Charles mistimes that, but he gets over extra cover and they run back for 2. I think the Indian audience that they saw from the experiment during COVID has convinced them that it doesn't matter if there's no fans. Just keep the early games anyway because of the global TV audience that you're going to get primarily through Asia. It has to be the reason. Has to be because it can't be for the Caribbean audience. And Santoki and I were talking about this in the WhatsApp earlier today. Full toss there from Sheldon, but Charles can't put away. Yes, so Santoki and I were talking about in the WhatsApp today. Here's the problem. All the while they keep these 10 o'clock games in the Caribbean with no fans there, how do you sell the notion of the biggest party in sport? Because people will slowly cotton on to the fact that the early games are dead from an atmosphere perspective. Charles pulls that one, can't catch that fully. Ganga talking about how Evan Lewis should be considered for the T20 World Cup. but hasn't mentioned the fact that he ain't done no fitness. Kanga sounds like he's back in his country, man, to be honest. Yeah, Javid, the deadline is the 16th of September. I suspect that we're going to have the West Indies squad announced either Monday evening or Tuesday evening. I wouldn't expect it any later than that. Maybe Wednesday morning. Fireball says he's there for the TKR Guyana game. All this chat they're doing about Evan Lewis, but not actually mentioning the fact that the man ain't passed fitness tests. I don't understand. Of course, Evan Lewis gets into the West Indies team. Nobody's denying that. Talk about the facts. Anyways, Faf, 1-2 steps down the track, 1 bounce straight down the track, 4. Demo says, no way does Johnson Charles get in the World Cup squad. He's got to go plant yam. Spiceman, maybe. Anyways, it's 17 without loss. 2 balls left of the third over. Cottrell, none for 11 from 1.4 overs. Faf shapes up to do a dill scoop, but in the end, he has to readjust and guide that down to gully for 1. One more ball left of the third over. So Johnson Charles 12 of 12, Faf 6 of 5. 1 more ball left of the third over. If you're new to these watch-alongs, like, share, subscribe. Oh, and he's going off on that. Oh, was that full on the rope? Pace on from Cottrell. Tries the bouncer, but Charles just goes after it. It's there to be hit. It doesn't go where he intends it. It goes very fine, high in the air and fine behind the keeper. No one's going to catch it, though. It's another 4 runs. And that's the end of the third over. Rueful smile there from the soldier. Kings are 22 without loss. Charles again getting off to a flyer. See what comments are in the chat here. Fireball says 5 a.m. games are perfect. What, these ones right now? Wait, 5 a.m. whose time? 5 a.m. You must. Oh, 5 p.m. Sorry. Boy, Fireball, I nearly was like, what? But yeah, no, that would be perfect, Fireball. I think you're right. 5 p.m. Eastern time would be perfect for me. I think that's the happy medium. But they've got to have 2 games a day. So when would be your next game then? Anyways, Jaden Carmichael, the emerging player's on, and he gets his line wrong. That's meat and drink for Faf, and he clears the boundary for another maximum. Kings with a good start here. Have to win today, St. Lucia. Have to. There's no ifs or buts. They just have to win. It's as simple as that. Anyways, that one over deep mid wicket for 6. And the Kings are 28, without loss. Patriots haven't really got go in this tournament either. So obviously, Guyana helped them somewhat in the last game by throwing the game away, but Patriots haven't really got going. Like TKR, neither of those 2 sides have got going. And that's another one. I don't know how to describe that one. Deep extra cover. That boy, that looks like he might send that back to St. Kitts. Just clears his front foot, rocks back, and just smashes it out the ground. The emerging player, Jaden Carmichael, getting licks here. 2 back-to-back sixes. How is the youngster going to respond? Very brave from Evan to bowl Carmichael so early in the power play. Next ball here. Boy, I feel for the youth. And he strikes. He strikes. That's why you have to rate Carmichael. That's why you have to rate him, because his confidence. This happened earlier in, was it the 60 or was it earlier in CPL? The boy who doesn't mind going for licks, he backs himself. He backs himself to still strike back, and he takes a wicket. Faf goes. Maybe Faf got too confident. That's the first wicket. 36 for 1. Oh dear. It's a no ball. No ball. Oh boy. Dear, oh dear. Faf catches a life. Sammy smiles in the dugout. Is this the luck that the Kings need? Oh dear. You know this next ball's going for 6, you know. How do spinners bowl no balls, though? Someone needs to get me a gif of that Sammy face. Sammy was praying to God there. So many comments that I've missed in the chat. I'm coming back to some people. This is the liveliest you're going to get me all week. You know I ain't coming back with this energy for the midweek games. And nope. It's one. Not well bowled by Jaden for the no ball delivery. Cramps Faf up. Let's go for some comments. Javid says, if Evan doesn't put runs on the board, do we disregard that and select him? That's a very, very valid point. Santoki's very clear on it. He says that provided Evan has passed the fitness test, you just select him regardless. It doesn't matter if he did well in the tournament or not. I think I'm inclined to agree with that. I need to do some digging. I might have to send a couple of messages to some connects in Cricket West Indies and find out if Evan has actually bothered to take a fitness test. Surely it's the Caribbean domestic tournament. Surely he's taken a fitness test at some point during the course of this tournament. Surely Evan hasn't dug his heels into that extent, but we shall see. Anyways, better from Carmichael since the 2 back-to-back sixes Faf licked him down with, and the no ball is gone ... How can he finish the over though? Well bowled. I like this youngster, you know. I like this youngster. 17 off the over. But given the first 2 balls went for back-to-back sixes, I'll say that he got away with it slightly. And he's unlucky. Well, not unlucky. No ball's criminal, but he's unlucky. So 41 without loss at the end of the 4th over. Faf is 22 from 10 balls. Johnson Charles is 18. 15 balls. Right, let's run through some comments. Where are we? Sheldon says Ganga is back in his South Trinidad brother. Certainly sounded like it. Cottrell back in again. He is a new power play bowler. He's got none for 18 so far off his 2 overs. Supernova says, yesterday St Lucia on fire in the power play, but the runs dried up horribly in the last 12 overs. Yeah, the guy in these spinners choked them out. Fireball says, for what they did in the power play against Guyana, it's only mid 161. Yeah, Guyana, they should have. Oh, has he got enough on that? Yes, he has. Straight back down the ground, and Faf ain't messing about today. Remember, just as well that I've got Fireball's comment up. You forget that against Guyana, I think at 10 overs, the Kings were like 100 and odd without loss, or 100 and odd for 1. So the question now is, can the Kings carry this on? Against Guyana, their spinners choked them out, but the Kings the Kings are in good form, 48 without loss. Another maximum. Du Plessis moves to 26 off 11. Ooh. Faf goes for the ramp shot there. It's going over the wicket now, Cottrell. Faf goes for the ramp, but can't get anything on that. Aaron says, what island is Jane Carmichael from? He's Nevisian. He's from Nevis. It would be good if you could get into a first-class setup. I doubt it. But remember, he's part of the Cricket West Indies Academy. So even if he's not, he's going to be involved with the academy setup, playing some games with them as well. And in Super 50, there is going to be an emerging players team. So even if someone like a Carmichael doesn't get picked up, you'd imagine, oh, oh my God, all the lucks with Faf today. It's another 6. It's a short ball from Cottrell. I don't think Faf even sees that. I need to watch a replay. I don't think Faf even sees it. Like, obviously, he goes for the hook. And, yeah, he catches the edge of the bat onto his helmet. Goes for a 6. Listen, when your luck's in, your luck's in. That's actually a good delivery from Cottrell, but he gets a 6 from that. They might need to send someone out there. Nope, they're not. Struck him on the helmet, but no one's gone out for any kind of check. Full toss there from Soldier, gets away with it. So this 5th over, Soldier's 3rd has gone. Go back to that in a minute. I'm just checking what's going on here. Yep, and that's the end of the over. So 54 without loss. After 5 overs, Du Plessis 32 from 15, Charles 20 from 16. The Patriots are going to have to bring on Rashid Khan as soon as the power play is over. He's going to get wickets. It's so rare that Rashid doesn't get wickets. He'll get wickets and he'll choke it up. If I was the Kings, obviously, if you started well, try and continue the momentum. I mean, they're going at 10s after 5 overs, but you would imagine that if they try and take on Rashid, some spinners. So if they try and take on Rashid, you can fairly certain expect that there's going to be some wickets. Yep. So they don't wait until after the power play. Such is the run rate that they've actually had to turn to Rashid in the power play. He doesn't usually bowl in the power play these days, but situation calls for him to come and do his thing. Obviously, he was playing in the Asia Cup. Afghanistan got knocked out, so here he is. First ball, beats the outside edge, no run. If I was the Kings, I'd treat this guy with respect and see off his 4 overs, because take him on, it's curtains for you. They bring in a slip. Second ball, defended, respected, and defended back down the wicket, no run. Third ball worked into the leg side. They ran through for a quick single, 55 without loss. Anyways, let me go back to some of the comments, because lots of you in the comments say 46 of you in the live. It'll get bigger. We should reach at least 100 today, concurrently at any point in time. Like, share, subscribe, etc. Oh, well, Puff. Faf treats that with disdain. Walks down the track, back down the track. It's another 4. Anyways, let's get some comments, which I keep missing. Supernova says, I think we have to look at performance over name. Again, work for the leg side, 1 run. I think we have to look at performance over name. Johnson, Charles, and Andre Fletcher have definitely put their name in the World Cup hat, but they're fighting for 1 spot. 100%. I think those 2 are fighting for 1 spot. Backup opener. Shamar Brooks has done nothing in this tournament thus far to justify holding this spot. I think Charles and Fletcher are fighting, and everyone's got to remember with Charles and Fletcher. And again, works leg side, 1 run, and that's the end of the power play. I'll come back to your point, Supernova. So 61 without loss at the end of the power play. What a start from the Kings. It's exactly what they need. Exactly what they need given state of their tournament. They have to win today. So they'll be ecstatic. Sorry, they'll be ecstatic with this start. Just updating the scorecard for you. Johnson Charles is 22 from 20 balls, and Faf du Plessis is 37. Sorry, let's find this. He's 37 of 17 balls. Captain very much leading from the front. Right, so now, sorry, there we go. So now it's about what does Evan do? What does Evan do here? Fielding positions. Right. Jansen's in and plugs in the outfield for 1 run there from Johnson Charles. Nearly got taken there. Anyways, back to some comments. So where was I? What was that comment from Supernova? Yeah, so as I said, when we did our West Indies on 99.94 T20 World Cup squad episode, I think you have to pick one of Charles or Spiceman because they do 2 things. And then if you pick a player who does 2 things, you're not picking like a Brooks and a Devon Thomas. You only have to you've basically replaced both of them with 1 player, if that makes sense. So I would be shocked if one of those 2 isn't in the World Cup squad. And then that kind of answers your point, Marissa. Do you think there could be any surprise wildcard selections? No, because again, Santoki and I were talking about this the other day. I think I can't remember if it was like privately. Who's really done anything outside of the established names to suddenly force their way in, or just clears the man on the perimeter 4 runs down the track? Fireball says wants St Lucia to win, so our boss captain Sammy could be happy. Supernova says Faf needs to stay there without Faf scoring big runs. They will slow down again like last night. Yeah, I'd accept that. Sorry, this shows you how far away the comments were that I've missed. Spinners bowling no ball, that's a crime. That's in relation to what Jaden Carmichael did. Remember, for those who've just jumped in or wasn't there for the start of the game, Faf was out, but it was a no ball. Sheldon says Faf's the key. Get him, and Kings are gone. Javid says, good to see Carl Mayers get his 3 overs today. Dross says Cottrell's not ready yet. I don't think he's either. Remember that Cottrell has been injured for a long while. He doesn't look match fit or match ready. Now, what I mean by that, I'm not saying he's not fit, he is, but there's a difference between being fit and being match fit. And Cottrell looks like he's trying to find that match sharpness. Like this tournament's almost come too soon for him. Fireball says the Asia Cup final was said. I didn't watch it. Obviously, I know that good for Sri Lanka. And do you know what? Just very quickly on that, it just goes to show people love to chat about Pakistan versus India. But then these 2 teams aren't even comfortable in their own ends. Sri Lanka just coming through. This is why we mustn't waste time chatting about teams and just, gassing up the situation. Gas them when they win something. Otherwise, let's just watch the cricket. You know what I mean? Rana says, what cricket are the likes of Kevin Sinclair, Yannick Correa, Tej playing while CPL's going on? Who knows? Bit of club cricket back home? I mean, the US minor leagues finished, so I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Javid says there's national tryouts for the Super 50 game going on. Yep, I don't know if that's happening in the other islands, although it may be happening in Dominica, but I don't know if that's happening in other islands. I know there's a 20 over tournament happening in Jamaica. So a Jamaican club, a Jamaican who's not in CPL. Think of a big name who's not here. I mean, can't really think of someone right now. Marquino Mindley, for example, may well be playing in that T20 tournament in Jamaica. Dross says, can we pick 20 players? We can't. Oh, right. So is that for the World Cup? So the World Cup squad is supposed to be 15 players, but then those 15 players are covered, I think, by the ICC, and obviously like your Danajaya straight down the ground again, this time by Johnson Charles. Straight over the long on boundary. It's another 6. Boy, Charles is making it very hard to ignore him. Little skip dance down the track. It's another 6. And then this one's just cut through covers for a single. The Kings are 77 without loss. This is an amazing start, just like the Guyana game. But will they fumble the bag once again? The thing is, just waits on that one, and again, single down the ground. Okay. Yeah, the thing that the Kings have to avoid, because one of these two will eventually get out. They'll miss time one, and they'll eventually get out. But that's fine. The thing is to not then lose wickets in clusters, which is what they did against Guyana. Chases that one, doesn't get anything on it. One more ball left of the 8th over. Danajai has gone for 9 so far. Not bad if you take away the 1 maximum that he got lit down with. Last ball of the over. And down the ground for a single. And that's the end of the 8th over. 79 without loss. Just going under 10s here. All right, where are we? So, Supernova says, thoughts on Royals winning 5 out of 5. Training holder from captain, importance of overseas superstars and get rid of some. Yeah, 100%. Again, if anyone's followed CCP enough, I said in 2020, I said in 2021, stop picking Holder as captain. Just because he's a national icon in Barbados doesn't mean that Holder should ever have been captain of the Royals. I think Royals erred in doing that. People said I was being anti-Holder, and for me, it was nothing about anti-Holder. It just didn't make sense for him to be captain. He'd lost the West Indies captaincy, and it was almost like people felt sorry for him, so made him carry on as captain. Miller has added some freshness to it. That's a wide. Charles chases that. Sure, that's a wide. Is he being given a wide? Sorry, it's the 9th over now. DJ Bravo sitting on a cooler on the boundary line, chatting to Evan Lewis about tactics. So Dwayne Pretorius, by the way, is a new bowler. So yeah, so Miller's added some freshness as a new Barbados captain. The franchise clearly seems to have benefited. No run. Franchise seems to have benefited from the new owners. There seems to be a far better team construction plan. I think last year's tournament, even the 2020 tournament, all I saw was pure all-rounders. You never knew what the Barbados batting lineup was because there were so many all-rounders in the side. So that meant there wasn't clear role definition, whereas this year you can clearly see what the side's supposed to be doing. I think my worry for Barbados is that, yeah, it's good starting well, but this tournament, because no one else looks as consistent as them, my worry for them would be, so let's take someone like TKR. TKR looks all out of sorts. But if TKR suddenly get to the semis, I wouldn't want to play them. So all you can do is carry on winning and just, do your thing. Right, much better over this and a welcome quiet over so far. That first ball must have been a wide because they're only signaling as 2 balls. I feel like this guy's bowled 4. Right, as Bishop's just said, they've just panned to the St Lucia dugout, and Tim David is padded up, which would make sense because yesterday, their last game against the Warriors, after their big start of like 100 odd of 10 overs, they like brought in, who came at number 3? Can't even remember. Like Chase came in, Dale came in. These times they've got Visa and David just in the dugout. Poor tactics. Anyways, Aaron says, I know it's a pipe dream, but this would be his World Cup 11. And, what? What? Wait, what? Wait a minute. Fletcher didn't die for that. What the hell was Fletcher doing there? What the? Nah. Wait a minute. Anyone who's watching this live with me, what was Fletcher? What's Fletcher doing there? That was a catch, yeah? Fletcher signaled for that. Is that out? This one's out, though. This one's out. Pretorius was vexed with what happened the ball before, but he gets in the next ball. The first wicket goes. Charles is out for 41 of 32 balls. People, I haven't even finished processing what Fletcher just did. I need to talk through those 2 balls I just saw because I don't know what that madness just was that I just saw. The ball before, Pretorius, what is that? That's not a no ball. Pretorius got Charles to flash at one. Fletcher, I'm still struggling to process what I saw. Fletcher signaled like the man down at the boundary needed to go and get it for 1. But there weren't no man at the boundary. Fletcher just waved the ball. Fletcher waved the ball by like, go on, go through. Man didn't die for nothing. What? No, that was that was madness. I don't know what I just saw there. Just for that, Fletcher can't go World Cup because I don't know what I just saw. Anyways, next ball, Pretorius looked vexed because it went down to the boundary for 4. Next ball, anyways, Pretorius gets Charles to hold out to Darren Bravo, who's on the boundary at long on, and the Kings or the Patriots have their first wicket. The blistering opening stand is over, and the score is 86-1. And who's come to the crease? It is Tim David. So change of tactics. Change of tactics here from the Kings. Rather than, so sorry people, I'm trying to update the score. I'm trying to chat all at the same time. Let me just focus on updating the score. So last ball of that over was a single. At the end of the 9th over, 87 for 1. Faf du Plessis. For those who missed it, Charles was out for 41 from 32 balls. And then still at the wicket is Faf du Plessis is 43 from 23. And Tim David, who will be leaving after this game to go link up with the Australia national team, is 0 from 0. There we go. There's a score update for you people. Oh, no, that's not a score update. There's a score update. All right, let's go back to some comments. Sorry, so yeah, Aaron said this is our best 11, or was it 15? What's he picked here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. I mean, you've got Narayan and Russell in there. Whilst that would be our best 11, I don't see either going to the World Cup. But yeah, I get your point all the same. Sheldon says Miller is a ruthless captain for the Royals. Droll says, does Charles have experience in Australia? I don't remember him playing in Big Bash, but you never know. He might have had one, or you never know with these leagues. He may have had one season. I don't even remember. Javid says, imagine Evan Lewis with all his Facebook posts, goes to the World Cup, and then gives a poor performance. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be in the squad. Right, Rashid Khan is back into the attack with a wicket gone. Yeah, so it's a fireball and error ball saying, what on earth was Spiceman doing there? Supernova says, I think Fletcher was asleep in. Sheldon says it's because players have stopped diving. But that didn't even look like Fletcher needed to put in a significant dive. That looked like he just needed to jump. Supernova agrees with Sheldon. Players have stopped diving. Nathan says, should Lamashane or Mansingh for the Teleros get a chance? Lamashane has gone back to Nepal. All beats David, all ends up there. Dot ball. Lamashane has gone back to Nepal. Let me call it as it is. He has been, I believe, has he been charged or is he wanted? He's wanted for a rape allegation. I need to go back and make sure I've got the full details. But there is a warrant out for his arrest in Nepal for raping a child. That's what I think. That's the news, and certainly somebody who is a child, because they're underage. Lamashane has denied it. He has gone back to Nepal. It's serious things, serious things. He's gone back to Nepal to answer those charges or answer the questioning. He's issued a statement saying he ain't done nothing. Well, boy, he may never play cricket again. And rightly so, I hasten to add, if that's proven to be true. Supernova says, I'm surprised they've sent David at 3. Dale's not in the squad, Supernova. Or he's not in this 11 today. They sent David at 3 because Rashid again beats him on the outside off stump. And that was a Rashid Khan over. Only 2 runs off it. And it's 89 for 1 after 10. And we now get to the pointless 5 to 10 minute drinks break when nothing happens for a bit. What I'm tempted to do, people, is maybe do the first 5 overs of the reply also on the live. I've been thinking about trialing that, where I don't lock off the live after the first innings, that I do the first 5 overs. I might just be saying that because I've got more energy for the first midnight game of the week, and that when it gets to Tuesday and Wednesday, you won't see me doing the first 5 over and nothing, because I'll basically be asleep before it even reaches the end of the first innings. But we'll see. That's what I'm thinking. 89 for 1 off 10. Let me just go through some of these comments, and then I'm going to go get a drink and take myself off screen. If you're new to these watch-alongs, press like, plus... in fact, actually, you know what? Let me go check the numbers. Press like, press subscribe. We're on the road to 4K. Let's see what you lot have done. Let's see. Who can tell me how many likes there are? Because I can't see. Analytics. It says 3,007 subscribers. So somebody subscribed from today. Road to 4K looks kind of long still, but you got to set targets, We only got another, We only got another 993 to go to get to 4K. Press like, press share, press subscribe. Sorry, like, share, and subscribe, I should say. Your support helps the Caribbean Cricket Podcast grow. Anyways, where are we? Supernova says, tell Chase he ain't batting today if all goes well. They need him with the ball. Chase isn't going to the World Cup, that's for sure. Fireball says, what the hell? Lamashane will only be playing cricket in prison. If you're lucky, men ain't know what he's charged with. Yeah, I don't know if he's been charged. What I saw was that the Nepali police have issued a warrant for his arrest, and he has, because he was here. Once they here, he was in Saint Lucia. He was in the Caribbean, and he has voluntarily gone home. So it's not like he's trying to bust case and get away with it by not going home and pretend like he's got nothing to answer for. Javed says, why is Rashid Khan's sponsor covered up? I'll have a look. Is it an old shirt? I'll have a look in a minute. Fireball says the drinks breaks in T20 does vex him. Yeah, me too, Fireball. Big waste of time. Looks like Bravo cussing out Spiceman for the lack of diving earlier on. Supernova says, irrespective of if he's innocent, those allegations will follow him. You best believe. Javed says there's only 8 likes. Now, you lot are doing me dirty. I'm out here showing energy for today's show. I'm not even out here like half sleeping. I'm actually showing energy. Only 8 likes. Nah, you're doing me fully dirty. Oh, we're back. I was about to go and get a drink and we're back. Lord of mercy. That's one of the quickest drinks breaks I've ever seen. It's Dwayne Pretorius bowling the first ball after a drinks break, and that is a wide. People, if you don't mind, my throat is dry. I'm going to get some water. So I'm going to briefly take myself off screen for about 1 minute. Carry on chatting amongst yourselves. Tell people to press the like button. Tell them to, let me just update Twitter. Tell people to press the like button. Tell them to subscribe. That one's chopped into the ground. No rum. Sorry, people. I'm just updating the tingling on Twitter. Right. Okay. Oh, Javid says the lights have now gone up to 20. You lot, thank you for the people who were probably in here and are just not even bothered to press it. But it's all good. You ain't done me dirty no more. Like this Pretorius guy. I think he's bowled well in this tournament. I'm not going for a drink just yet. Let me tell you some stuff about some stats. So, in the tournament so far, in terms of wickets, these are the top 7 in the tournament. I should really only mention the West Indians because as it pertains to that's a wide ball. You have to reload that. As it pertains to potentially getting into the World Cup squad. But Mohamed Amir, 10 wickets, economy 5.55, standout bowler. Alzari Joseph, I mean, he's a certainty to go to World Cup, 10 wickets, economy 7.15. Obed McCoy, this is in order, so he's the 3rd highest, 7 wickets, 8.66 economy. Jason Holder, 6 wickets, 6.92. But so far, so that's the top 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the top 4. Oh, that's another wide. That's the top 4, but these are all bowlers who are already going to the World Cup. Joseph will go to the World Cup. McCoy will go to the World Cup. Jace will go to a World Cup. Imad Wazim's 5th, 6 wickets, 6.15. Cougar Line is 6th, 6 wickets at 9.76 economy. Carl Mayers, 7th, 5 wickets, economy 4.71, but he's going to the World Cup. So do you see what I mean, people? Pretorius is 8th, Miguel Pretorius. So that's the top 8 in the tournament. Even if I went lower, the 9th highest is Akil Hussain, and he's only played 1 match, 4 wickets, economy 3.25. So, and 10th is Shamsi. So there is no one in the top 10 bowlers in the tournament who isn't already a certainty for the West Indies World Cup squad. So this is why Santoki and I were discussing it. There is no new bowler who's going to the World Cup. There might be new all-rounders, but there's no new bowler going to the World Cup, as in strike bowler. It's going to be who you expect it to be. That's another wide, surely. Yep, it's another wide. Good evening to you, Jordan. How many wides in this? This is Pretorius is obviously they've looked at something which says that bowling a 6-stump, 5th-stump line to Tim David is what you have to do. But Pretorius's radar is off. His over's gone wide, one wide, one wide. And this next ball goes for 6. Or no, does he have enough? No, he doesn't. No, he's gone. Tim David gone. Strikes. The tactic works. That's the wicket. Tim David goes. That's the end of his tournament. He's going to Australia, or to play for Australia after this. He went for it. David knew immediately. Who's that? Is it Bravo again? Yeah, it's Darren Bravo out there on the long on boundary once again. Dwayne Pretorius takes his second over. If you're not wondering what I'm doing, I'm writing my notes because obviously I have to write the match report at the end as well. So it's 95 for 2. And again, the choke is on now. The choke is on a bit here for the Kings. Just like when Guyana slowed them down, it's all good and well starting like this. It's all good and well starting like this, but a couple of wickets changes things. And all of a sudden now, after it looking like they were batting the Patriots out of the game, all of a sudden, it's 95 for 2. Who they're going to have to send in chase here, because now they have to stabilize. Who they send? Is it no? It's not Primus. Surely not. It's Russian Primus. So they haven't sent in anyone to stabilize. They've sent in a big hitter again. I'm surprised at that. I thought they might have left Primus at the end a bit. Yeah, it's another cutter. It was a cutter that got rid of Charles. Last ball coming up of, I was going to go get a drink, but last ball coming up of this 11th over. Pretorius 2 for 15. Can he end the over well? See, Marley Richardson comms also saying the same thing I said, which is that it's a surprise to see Primus come out now. I would have thought they would have wanted a stabilizer just for a bit before going again. But clearly they must want to keep the momentum up. Faf is 46 of 27. Primus is 1. Primus is 1 from 1. Just updating the score, people. Yeah, there's the score. Right, let's see what the comments are. Javid says they should have sent in Primus. Well, they have. Aaron says, can't be asked with BT Sport and these streams are vexing me. What do you... Oh, you'd rather watch on YouTube, Aaron? Is that what you mean? Marissa says, what about Yannick Cryer based in New Zealand ODIs? But it doesn't seem he's playing cricket. He's probably doing something in Trinidad. But do you know what? Hayden hasn't bowled badly. It's almost like the Yannick Correa emergence has scared Hayden into actually bowling with more control. So if they are going to take a leg spinner to the World Cup, it's going to be Hayden Walsh. Fireball says he's watching on CNC3, which is much better than the TV6 rubbish and better than Sportsmax. It's better than Sportsmax, serious. Supernova says, I guess with the batting form Chase is in, they don't trust him. Yeah, I agree with you, actually. I was going to say something similar. Like he's a duck hound at the moment with the bat and has been for a long while. So maybe that's why they haven't bothered with Chase. But then if they don't trust Chase now, you might as well just not have him come in at any point in the innings unless you actually have to. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, Dan and Jair is back in. Javid says, Mash, how do you rate Oldeen's slower ball? I rate Oldeen full stop. Sometimes he frustrates me with lack of control, but he's going to World Cup. Romario Shepherd shouldn't, but Oldeen should be. In fact, Romario Shepherd might go out of default, but maybe they'll take like a chemo Paul instead. The problem is we know what Romario can do with the bat, so he almost gets in by default. But boy, I'm not sure it's in my 15, Anyways, the next episode, Santoki and I are recording an episode tomorrow for West Indies on 99.94. And then for anyone who's a Guyana Amazon Warriors fan, you'll want to listen to that one because it's just on the Amazon Warriors and what's gone wrong for them this season. So we're recording that episode tomorrow. Charles rocks back, and so Charles Primus goes after it. Gone. Dhananjaya strikes. It's another one. So bringing in Primus, I said Charles, bringing in Primus has failed. Rashid Khan takes the wicket at long on. It's another wicket at long on. All the wickets have gone at long on. And all of a sudden, it's what I was saying earlier on, people. It's all going to the Kings starting like this, but it's all about what happens when one wicket goes. And all of a sudden, if anyone do you not remember about 10, 15 minutes ago, I was going, are they going to lose wickets in clusters? And that's precisely what they've done. All of a sudden now the score is 101 for 3. When Charles went, it was 86. It's 86 for 1 after 9 overs. All of a sudden, the score now is 101 for 3, and we're not even reached 12 overs yet. So they sent Primus to try and keep up the intent. They're going to have to send Chase no matter what now, it looks like. Sorry, people, I'm just updating. Nice Dick Weller they send. Okay. So last 30 balls, 33 runs, 3 wickets. I think that kind of tells you everything there. The choke is on. Oh, he dropped it. Has he dropped it? He's dropped him. He's dropped Faf. Carmichael, he bowled the no ball. 2 lives for Faf. Dropped early doors when Jaden bowled the no ball. And then he's dropped on 49. Good delivery to end the over. And that's the end. Faf then reaches his 50. Big drop, So Faf reaches his 50. 31. 102 for 3. 102 for 3 at the end of the 12th over. I would bring in Rashid Khan now, tell him to bowl me a 3rd over, get a wicket, but we shall see. Where are we now? Sorry, see where the comments are going. Supernova says Chase is going 100%. Yeah, probably in a 15-man squad. Sorry, Shepherd. In a 15-man squad, he's probably going as the 15th player. He shouldn't, but he will. Supernova says they've used him way too much this summer for him to not go. If he goes though, Supernova, what I'm saying is, as I've been saying for the last year, if you take Romario Shepherd, only give him 1 over, 2 maximum to bowl, which means you have to redefine his role and tell him he is a batting all-rounder now. We don't consider he's a rucks with the ball. We now consider him a batting all-rounder who can give us a two little overs here and there, never at the death, obviously. Anyways, Soldiers back into the attack. Anyways, Javid says St Lucia fumbling the bag. All in One says, why do West Indies batsmen struggle against quality spin? Blame the quality of the tracks back home. Duplessis rocks back, and that's downtown, 6 runs. Another 6 for Duplessis. Tashan says, I hate this promotion by the Kings. When you have good top order players in Ditweller and Chase, you're sending in power hitters, which isn't a great strategy. Yeah, Tashan, they've done that in response to what happened versus Guyana. So they've gone the other way. Probably gone against their natural instincts and they've probably assumed that, we messed up versus Guyana, and tried to change things drastically. And wait, what? Now, wait a minute. What? People, what happened with Rutherford there? No. Wait. Sorry, people. Should Rutherford have... Should Rutherford have... What? No. I'm getting tired with what I'm watching right now. Marissa says the Kings have a good lineup. They just don't know how to use it. Compare their strategy to the Royals. Yeah. Oh, and that's a full toss from Cottrell's. Gone. Faf goes after it like he should have done. And people, it's another one. It's 112. 112 for 4. Sheldon strikes. It wasn't a good delivery. It was a full toss and Faf just... Full toss and Faf gets... It's a full stroke. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Kings innings is collapsing here. So all of a sudden now they're 112 4. Innings looking a bit peak. Tequila yet to get a score or get off the mark. So Faf goes. They'll have to bring in Chase now. Surely it's Chase. It can't be. Or they won't bring in Visa now, will they? I'm assuming it's Chase. I'm even writing Chase's name in because surely that's who they're going to bring in now. Yeah, it's Chase. Let me go back to... I've been needing to go to get this drink for a while, but every time I try to every time I try and go, something happens. Yeah, fireball. Sorry, I'm hoping that's about Rutherford. The man just said, "Yeah, you know, I can't catch that." Tashan says Machel jumped up 118 places in the game week 4 leaderboard, but went behind a little bit after the Barbados match. Yeah, I did as well. But in this match, who's in my team? Who have I got? I think I've got Lewis and Rutherford from the Patriots, and I've got Javar Royal. He's not even playing. I've got Visa, Johnson Charles, and Alzari Joseph. So I've got quite a lot of players involved in this match. Right, this is my go and get a drink time. My throat is dry out here, people. Let me... Oh, that's out. Yep, another wicket, people. That was Plum. They're going to review it. They have to review it, but that was out. It's the final ball of the 13th over, the final ball of Cottrell's spell. But I think that's military straight. I think that's Plum. Umpire's giving it out immediately. I think it's out. Now, obviously, I'm going on naked vision here, but I thought that looked good. Collapse from the Kings is epic. Double wicket over. If it is out, it's a double wicket over from the Soldier. I think that's hitting middle stump. That's how out I think it is. I think it's crashing into middle stump. If this is out, the Kings have lost 5 wickets for 27 runs. Has he got no inside edge? Oh, hold on now. It might... I thought it was like straight as in going for middle stump. I now think this is clipping... I think it's clipping leg now. So umpire's call on leg. Now I've actually seen the replay. I think it's umpire's call on leg. No, just striking leg, not even umpire's call. Gone. 1-1-3 for 5. The Kings have lost 5 wickets for 27 runs in 9. Let me just remind people. The Kings were 86 without loss after 9 overs. We're now at the end of the 13th over, and the Kings are 113 for 5. I'll say that again for anyone who's not following. The Kings were 86 without loss after 9 overs. 4 overs later, and they're 113 for 5. Who's in now? David Visa is the new batter. It's going to peak out there. So Cottrell ends his spell 2 for 41. Supernova says if he was a St. Lucia fan tonight and he'd paid money to watch them do the same thing 2 games in a row, he'd run on the pitch. Don't blame you. All in One says, who do you think can create problems for the West Indies in the World Cup qualifiers? All of them. All of them. Nothing is certain with the West Indies. Never. Dhananjaya back into the attack. Right, people, I've been meaning to go get this water for time. Let me come off the screen. I'm coming back in 1 minute. I just seen a wicket. Blood seed. I'm coming back. Don't worry, people. I just seen another one. Oh my goodness. Okay, we back. Another wicket, people. There's me in the kitchen enjoying myself, going, I ain't coming back to that live for time. Next thing I hear is wicket. So let me see what's going on now. Let me see. Energy levels are high. You lot wait till Tuesday when I'm dead and out on my feet, chatting pure foolishness because I'm so tired. Right, so it's 1, 2, 3 for 6 now. Chase hit a 6 and a 4, and then said, you know what, I really and truly I can't actually bat. And so Chase is gone. He ain't going to no World Cup. I'm telling you that for facts. He's even got off the wicket. So Alzari Joseph now comes in. Kings doing pure foolishness with the bat. They let Dan and Jaya take 2 wickets, you know. Goodness gracious me. So what's that now? The last, since the first wicket, 37 runs, 6 wickets. There we go. Supernova's put it up. Last 31 balls, 37 runs, 6 wickets. Shake my head. Exactly. Let me see what comments I've missed whilst I was pouring myself some water. Mash, what do you think about Sri Lanka's Asia Cup victory? I think that Indian and Pakistan fans need to shut up and stop hyping up their matches as the most significant thing in cricket. All we care about is who wins tournaments, not one particular match. Tashan says, why does Santoki not play the draft? Don't know. I know I'm having some crisps right now. Let me mute myself whilst I'm munching these crisps. Shouldn't mashing up my body, you know, late night crisp munching at 1:13 in the morning, but how else am I going to stay awake? I mute myself whilst I'm munching these crisps so it doesn't come on the sound effect. That's tasty, boy. Right, I'm back. All in One says, have they announced the squad for World Cup? Nope. We think it's going to be announced tomorrow or Tuesday, Wednesday at the very latest. Joel says, what's up, fellas? Been a while since I was here. Big up, Joel. Press like and subscribe. Marissa says, what are we doing? Watch alongs to the World Cup? Yeah, probably. Actually, let me just, I wrote the World Cup fixtures into my diary. 1 second. Oh, gone. Soft. Joseph goes for a duck. 1, 2, 4 for 7. I can't believe what I'm watching here. I cannot believe what I'm watching. Pretorius takes his 3rd wicket. If I was a St. Lucia fan in the stands right now, pure bad word is what I'd be cussing. Pure bad word. I don't know what I'm watching out here. "38 runs for 7 wickets. This is madness. I cannot believe this. Do we have any St. Lucian fans in the chat? Let me see what. Yeah, so Marissa was saying more watch along to the World Cup. Sorry, Marissa, I've written the games into my diary. Let me have a look, see what I'm doing. Okay, so is that dream? If we get into the main stage of the competition, yeah, definitely. It's going to be hard. So it's going to be hard because of work. I should be able to do. So West Indies versus Scotland, I should be able to do maybe the first innings. Actually, maybe longer. I might be able to do all of the first innings for West Indies versus Scotland. But I'll be doing it in my work clothes. So what I'd have to do is that game starts 5 o'clock UK time. So I'd have to get up 4:30, shower, get ready for work, and then do the watch along in my shirt, my tie, and my jacket. But I'm gonna do it for the love of the game. So I'll do West Indies, Scotland, and I'll do Ireland versus West Indies. But when the Zimbabwe game's at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll be at work, so I can't do that. So yeah, I'll try and do those things. Oh, well saved. Who's that on the boundary? Brilliant. Was that Pretorius? No, it couldn't be Pretorius. He's bowling. Who was that? Brevis. Or was it Janssen? Who is it? Brevis, yeah. Brilliant fielding. Tashan says, why has Shepherd deteriorated as a pace bowler from 2019 to today? I think it's twofold. One or three things I'd give you. One, confidence, lack of it. Doesn't trust his skill set. Two, he's focused more on batting. That's what ultimately got him his $1 million bag for IPL. So he's prioritized his batting over his bowling. And three, what got him into the West Indies team was his ability to bowl in-swinging Yorkers, really good Yorkers at that. And he's gone away from what made him a good bowler. That's my opinion anyways. Yep, Joel says, the geopolitics scene. Yeah, basically the cricket matches between India and Pakistan are nothing to do with cricket. And that's why they're hyped bigger than they actually are. But none of that will actually help them. Like when we get to World Cups, it's always about, we can't wait till India play Pakistan. It's like, maybe if you didn't focus on that, if you just saw that as just another game, it'd help you win the World Cup instead of putting so much emotional energy into those one games. Oh my God. Rashid Khan just bowled, what was that, googly? Matthew Ford goes across his wicket and is beating him all ends up and gone inches past his leg stump. Gets away with one there. Rashid hasn't taken a wicket yet, but he's going to at some point. No run. King's getting choked out here, completely choked out. Shashan says, Mash, you know me, I love Sri Lanka, sometimes more than India. I tag the Sri Lankan correspondence from 99.94 DM and share my tears. Yeah, big up Sri Lanka. Big them up. Love to see them win that. Supernova says 35 balls, 38 runs for 7 wickets. Crowd will riot like Brazil fans. Yeah, dugout looking vexed still. Joe says, if West Indies don't qualify for the main stage, I will cry. Listen, mentally, I've already told myself we're not qualifying. So then that I can just cope with it when the time comes. Anything above qualifying is a success. All in One says, who do you think will be the surprise omission from the World Cup squad? What was he? I thought it was a Corton Bowl there. Who will be the surprise omission? Shamar Brooks. Is that really a surprise though? Oi. Yeah, good comparison, Fireball. Celtic versus Rangers is like Pakistan, India. 50 of you in the live. Not as many in the live today concurrently. I'm sure it'll be fine in terms of total stream. And that's the end of the 16th over. And what's that? 128 for 7. I'm not even putting up what the batters are on at this stage. There's no point. Just know that's 128 for 7. With 4 to go. It looks like this first innings will finish well before 2 o'clock, which is really good, which means I might be in bed by 3:30 today. God is so good. This is why I have to give thanks to God each and every time. God said, you know what, Mash? Let me give you a nice Sunday before you go to work on Monday morning. Let me give you 2.5 hours sleep. I can't wait. Thank you, God. God is good. Right. 007 says, Kings deserve to lose this match, brother. You best believe that. Who's back into the attack? Pretorius back into the attack. Oh, run out opportunity. Javid says the reason why Rashid is covering up his sponsor Must be because Laserbook is... Yeah, someone look up Laserbook. Who are they? I thought it might be a betting thing, but I hadn't looked at the shirts properly. So if Laserbook are betting, maybe that's why. But you would have thought, if that's the case, aren't all of the companies who sponsor stuff betting stuff? No, wait, hold on a minute. Laserbooks is on... Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about, to be honest. Aaron says, being realistic, what's the longest West Indies could have Carl Mayers? Yeah, I'm surprised people aren't talking about this more, Aaron. So here's the... Is Carl Mayers in that South Africa one? Did he get the big bag for the Pile Royals thing? And I think Santoki and I spoke about this on the West Indies on 99.94 podcast. Someone like a Mayers is obviously now going to start. So he got the IPL bag just gone for 2022, but that was the Lickleman bag. Yeah, like one of those kind of supplementary deal. Was it like 80K? It's still money, but it was a Lickleman bag. Yeah. I think Carl Mayers is going to start picking up deals in this year in 2023. So you see how like Akil Hussain just picked up the Big Bash bag, and that's after a year of solid work. Ooh, that must be out, yeah? Oh, no, it's a 6. Matthew Ford. Straight down the ground. Pretorius gets struck for 6. A welcome 6 there for the Kings. 137 for 7. What's I saying? So Akil Hussain has finally got the T20 big bag after a year of solid work for West Indies. This Mayers in 2023, same thing. If he produces in that South Africa league, watch him get bags across the year now. And then at that point is when we then start to be like, well, maybe we can't play him in all the formats similar to Jason. Oh, it's a great shot. Great shot. He takes Pretorius for back-to-back 6s. Walks across his stumps. Slug. What was that? Was that a slug sweep? I don't know what that was. Slug pull. It's a slug of some sort. Reverse slog. Either way, it's a 6. Useful runs here. For all we know, 143 might be enough, you know. I don't think so, but for all we know. It's a white ball. I have to reload that. Fireball says he's picking South Africa to win the World Cup. Listen, that's wide as well, surely. Yep. All I can say is West Indies ain't winning the World Cup. That's the only prediction I'm willing to make. Tashan says Carl has been picked up by Durban Super Giants. I knew someone had picked him up for the South Africa Big Bag League. Yep, Fireball, that's all we are. We're a feeder team for the franchises. And I think the players know that as well, in fairness. And that's Mercer. No, there's still one more ball left. I thought it was the end of the over. There's one more ball left. Pretorius kind of damaging his overs a bit here. 007 says, why teams still using Chase as batsman? If anybody's been a fan of Caribbean Cricket Podcast for a while, you lot will remember that I was one of the first people, probably in the both outside the Caribbean and basically covering West Indies, to openly say, drop Chase from West Indies cricket. And I was getting cussed out by people for saying it. Who's been proved right? I was saying it for so long, you know. And imagine when I started saying it, he didn't get dropped for another 3, 4, 5 months or something. I was saying it from early that Chase was done out here as a batter. Anyways, I'm going to eat some crisps. Let me mute myself. Oh my God, I've just been chatting to myself. Oh my God. Sorry, people. A big conversation I was having myself there on mute. Basically, I was saying that's Plum. Why has he reviewed it? He ain't even touched that, so I don't know. Look at this blood. Anyways. There we go. Oh, gone. Don't know why he reviewed that. Goodbye, Matthew Ford. Good couple of sixes there you hit, but it's time for you to depart. Can't keep Rashid Khan out of this party. Are you mad? Of course he's taken at least one wicket. Looks like things looking like they want to get bowled out here, 51 of you in the live at this moment in time. If you haven't pressed like, share this, subscribe. My energy levels are up, people. It's 1:30, which means this first innings, every game I've done previously at these midnight games, it's been 2:00 when the second innings has started. But this is looking like we might start the second innings at least by 10 to 2, which means I could be in bed by 3:30. Larry Edward comes out. Rashid Khan still has 4 balls to go. This innings could be over. What do you reckon? Will Rashid Khan take 3 and will he take another wicket in this over? I'm saying yes. Anyways, where's that comment I wanted to comment on? 007 says, I'm back in England to win in honour of Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth. If I speak, I'm in big, big trouble. So all I will say is, it's time for Jamaica to become a republic. That's all I will say. One, 4, 7, 4, 8. 3 balls left of this Rashid Khan over. He's gone for 1 for 11 from 3.3 overs. I can only speak for Jamaica. I can only speak for my country, Jamaica should have become a republic a long, long time ago. Once Barbados did it, things should have been put in motion immediately. Oh, he beats him on the outside edge. But yeah, no, you're right, 007, the whole Caribbean. Anybody say, and I think, is it Gaston Brown, the Antigua leader? I think he's said that Antigua, he's going to start the process for Antigua. All of them need to bounce now. Another one, no run for Visa. It's looking long for him out there. Yeah, so I spoke to my dad actually. With part 2, because of the Queen dying. Part 2, we're now going to do on. I think we're going to do it on decolonization in the Caribbean. I think that's the topic where we're working with, but we're just finalizing if that's going to be the topic, because we just felt that in light of the Queen dying, and we still want to relate it to the West Indies, so we want to look at this topic of decolonization. Yeah. And how, something like that. I think we're still working on the title. So Charles, you lot putting Charles in the chat. Khan went for 3s. 12 overs, 4 overs, 1 for 12. 2 overs left. Dwayne Jansen comes in to bowl the penultimate over. He's not going to bowl out today. Visa goes after that, catches it on the splice that plugs in the outfield for 1. Yeah, good point. Actually, the commentators have just made a good point. He's gone. He's bowled everyone out. He's messed up. Everyone has messed up his overs here because Jansen shouldn't. Jansen should have bowled out. He's messed up. Carmichael or Dhananjaya should have bowled another over at another point, which means now one of the spinners will have to bowl the 20th over, which basically gives the Kings license to go after them. He's messed up here, Evan Lewis. He better hope Dan Jansen can take a wicket in this over. Nearly does. Larry Edward tries to pull him through. Tries to pull him through the leg side. Doesn't get anything on it. Dot ball. But then if I'm the Kings here, I'm fine with only taking Jansen for what, maybe 3-4 runs in this over, because you know it's Dhananjaya or Carmichael who has to bowl the last. Surely it's got to be Dhananjaya. You can't give it to the Ute. It's flicked on the leg side for one for Larry Edward. Yeah. Yeah, they're saying on comms that Lewis has messed up here and that he's got the order wrong. So Jansen should have bowled the 18th, Rashid Khan the 19th. Then you get Jansen to bowl the 20th. He's messed up. There's no way he would have. There's no way he meant for Jansen to. He's forgotten. Visa goes after that one, pulls it. He hasn't got enough on. Yeah, he's got enough. It's a 6. It's a 6. And the Kings are on 156. Do you know what? The Kings could still get given the spinners coming on last or bowling the final over, Kings could still get a good score here. I'm talking like 175 plus. If they can survive this Jansen over and they can go after the spinner, provided Visa's on strike. And 175 is not out of the question here, people, you know. Morgan says, do you think the selectors carry King, Fletcher, Mayers, and Charles? No, only one of Fletcher and Charles is going. And they might not. And in fairness, only one of them is going. Run out, run out, run out. Visa's gone. That was suicide cricket. Suicide cricket. The youngster, Jaden Carmichael, runs out by a long old way as well. Big run out. If I'm Visa, I'm vexed with Edwards because what's Edwards? Edwards the one who knows where the ball has gone. Edwards the one, and he's called Visa through, and Visa's got run out by miles by the youngster. If that's what Visa must be vexed. And all of a sudden, now they go into the final over, knowing a spinner's coming. Visa's on deck. You tell man to run through for a suicide single when you could have just survived the 2 balls and let Visa go after the spinners. This has been a horrible batting performance by the Kings. Horrible. Everything about this innings. Sorry, that's a lie. Sorry, let's go again. The opening 8 overs when Charles and Faf were licking them down, good. Everything after Johnson Charles got out has been horrible by the Kings. See, Visa didn't know where the ball had gone. He had no idea. So it's Larry who's called him through. It's Larry's fault. Right. So earlier on, people, I spoke about. Aaron says, "Mash, you've been watching BBC. It's like State Enforced Morning." Yeah. To be honest, Aaron, if this was another one of those dictatorship countries, like say it was Russia, right, and Putin died, and you saw all of the pictures everywhere, like we're seeing here with with Liz, everyone would say, this is in. They'd call it enforced state enforced morning. They'd say it's a sign of a dictatorship. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. I'll just call it manufactured consent. I think I'll leave it at that. Yeah, all in one, I agree with this. Alzari will be the most important player for us in the World Cup. Maybe even an old Dean Smith because his ability to bowl hard lengths. Right, so Dhananjaya comes in and it's up to the last two, the 10 and the 11, to try to take on the spinner. First ball outside the off stump dot. So earlier on, people, I spoke about the top 10 bowlers in CPL this year, and all of the West Indians in the top 10 are already, that would have been run out if Fletcher took that cleanly. All of the West Indians in the top 10 bowlers this year are already in the West Indies World Cup squad and will be going to the World Cup. So there's no surprises with the ball. With the bat, is there anyone who could force their way in if we go with the stats? The top run scorer in CPL thus far is Johnson Charles, 227 runs, strike rate 137. Second, Carl Mayers, 206 runs, strike rate 150. Is that? No, he's got it. Third, Rovman Powell, 200 runs, strike rate 140. Fourth, Andre Fletcher, 153 runs, strike rate 120. Fifth, Corbin Bosch, 151 runs, strike rate 130. Sixth, Brandon King, 147 runs, strike rate 135. That's sixth. Seventh, Duplessis. Eighth, De Kock. Ninth, Miller. 10th, Raymond Reefer, 3 matches, 131 runs, strike rate 141. So basically, based on the top 10 stats, there are only 3 players out of those batting performances who could force their way into the World Cup, right? Charles, Fletcher, who are probably fighting for the same position, and then Raymond Reefer, who could come somewhere in the middle order. That's it. So no one has forced their way in with the ball, and only 3 players up to this point in the World Cup, knowing that the World Cup squad is being selected early next week. Reefer, Charles, Fletcher are the only 3 you could go with based on stats. Outside of that, you have 2 players who you can go with based on international stardom and name. Evan Lewis, Trey Russ. We don't know what their status is. And then outside of that, you have one name where you just pick him if he says he's actually available. Sunil Narayan. That's it. So there's nobody else to consider. Anyways, that's the end of the 20 overs. 5 off the over. And Kings end on 161 for 9. That shouldn't be enough. Based on how the pitches have been playing in St. Lucia. Based on how the pitches have been playing in St. Lucia, that shouldn't be anywhere near enough. And with sensible batting, the Patriots should take this down. More importantly, this innings has ended at 1:42 a.m. in the morning. This is the earliest any of the midnight games have finished that I've watched so far in the competition. So the Kings should be back out to bat at 10-2, which means this match should be over by 3:15. Bloody, can't believe it. So let me calculate the sleep I might get. 3:15. I might get 2.5 hours sleep before work, and I slept for an hour and a half before doing this live. 4 hours total. Boy, I'm living life out here. I'm living in dreamland right now. 4 hours sleep in total before work. We're moving up. Anyways, people, normally at this stage I bounce and say, right, I'm going into the living room to watch the rest of the game. But you know what? I'm gonna give you a little treat today. I'm gonna do the first 5 overs. No, I'm gonna do the power play. I'm gonna do the power play of the St. Kitts reply, and then I'm bouncing off the live to go into the living room to write the match report. Okay? That's what I'm gonna do. But for now, stay on, chatting amongst yourselves. There's 57 of you. In fact, actually, before I bounce, to just go get some water and take a bit of a break. Let's go through some comments. Aaron says, can definitely see why your politics teacher quoting Chomsky. You got to quote Chomsky, you know. Go to my bookcase, you'll see about 5 Chomsky books. Yeah, Shay, hopefully opening spot. Yeah, no chance for Shay. Yeah, Kesrick Williams, his time is done. Oh, Ramel said I put 8 wickets. It's 9. Yeah, I think I've corrected that now. Javid says 161 looks defendable. I mean, it's not. I want to say 160 is par, but it's not par if you. What do I say about once? It gives you something to defend. I just don't think it's enough. Oh, Sugar 007, Fabian Allen. I didn't even call his name. Do you know why I didn't call Fabian's name? Because I've just got him in the squad regardless. I don't think it's even up for debate if Fabian's getting in. I already have him in my squad. Supernova says Kings are 15 runs short. I tend to agree. Aaron says St. Lucia can defend this. Who's in their bowling today? Remember, they've called in 2 new bowlers for today, Larry Edward and Matthew Ford. So if St. Lucia are going to defend this, those 2 have to bowl well because both of them are getting their first game of the tournament today. So there's a lot of pressure on those 2 to bowl well today. Aaron says, how much does it cost to watch CPL? Fireball, he's already answered it. He's going to the games in Trinidad. He said cheapest was 30 US. Javid says Alzari's going to mash things up. Aaron says 25 US to watch a game in CPL. But I don't know how, I don't know. It might have been different in each country. I don't know what it was like in St. Kitts. Don't know what it is like in St. Lucia. Fireball's in the Trini Posse stand though, so he's paid for the good vibes, in fairness. Aaron says, Mash, you think Johnson Charles might be the Ross and Chaser this year? Yeah, so here's my problem, right? I do think that one of Johnson or Spiceman should go, but that doesn't mean I'm expecting them to do anything good in the World Cup. Yeah, Alan hasn't bowled much. Every time Rothman gets asked about it, he says it's due to matchups. I just wonder if there's an injury issue there that they're not answering. I don't even know if Fabian has bowled 4 overs across CPL yet. Fish says in Barbados it's 20 US to watch CPL. Morgan smelling a 50 from Evan tonight. Yes, Aaron. Yes, Aaron, that's correct. You play an emerging players, you're allowed to have 5 overseas players. Javid, yes, I agree. Loads of comments you lot are doing, you know. Right, people. So I'm going to just take a bit of a break. I'll be back for the power play of the Patriots over, and then I'm cutting off the live to go write the match report. Okay, peace, people. I'll be back for the start of the Patriots innings. Stay in the live. Press like, by the way. Press subscribe. In fact, actually, before I go for the quick break, let me just check how many of you have subscribed since I started today's live. Oh, wicked. Thank you, people. We're up to 3,019 subscribers. So today we've had from this live, we've had about 15 subscribers. Some of you will be like, is that all? But every little bit counts, you know. Big up anyone who's subscribed. Big up anyone who's pressed like, for the algorithm, you know. Big up you all for that. If you're in the live and you've yet to press like or subscribe, please do so. Right, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'll be back for the Patriots innings later. We back. We back. Been eating crisp, boy. So, despite this innings having ended early, we're still starting. Might as well have just started at 2:00 to blouse and skirt. They done me dirty out here. This game's gonna still be going on time from now. So, people, I'm gonna be here for the power play for the first time in these live watch-alongs. I'm actually doing the second innings and not just disappearing to go watch the second innings and write the match report. See if I can maintain energy levels. Boy, energy levels feeling low right about now. Patriots are chasing 162 to win. They're favourites here with the Caribbean Cricket Podcast Win Viz Predictor. Spiceman and Evan Lewis, the openers. Nah, Crisps 007, not fish and chips, Crisps. So, did Matthew Ford play in the last game? I swear this is his debut in the tournament. Nice little shape and swing there from Matthew Ford. No runs so far, by the way. 3 balls, no runs. Anyways, what was that comment I saw during the break? Vish here says, I think we can directly trace Roston's downturn of form to him getting braces. Ah, boy. Okay, so he did play the last game against Warriors. And that's going to be out, surely. Is that out? Wicket. First over. Wicket. Matthew Ford strikes. Fletcher's gone for a duck. Fletcher runs down the wicket after him and just holds it out to Tim David. So here we go then. St Lucia, the fans doing that bacchanal. I don't know much about House or House, whoever it is. What's his name? Is it House who's coming in? I don't know much about him, if I'm honest. So I can't really comment. Anyways, so perfect start for the Saint Lucia Kings. Strike inside the first over. Fletcher with the madman shot. Now Brevis, impetuous of youth with this Brevis boy, but I kind of feel like Brevis is coming with a big innings at some point in this tournament. You know, will it be today? Ooh, King slices that through the covers. Plenty of air on that, but flashes it for 4. And Patriots have started moving 4-1. Evans yet to play a big innings in this tournament so far. Same with Brevis. So you just kind of sense that something's coming from one of these two. I don't know if it's today, but I refuse to believe they're going to go through this tournament without a big innings. Oh, tucks him up there with that hard length. And that's the end of a really good over from Matthew Ford. Patriots 4-1 after the first over. So, great start for the Kings. But Patriots should feel that they've got enough depth in their batting to not have to unduly worry at this stage. But of course, just to clarify for people, so I say depth in their batting, I mean, it's a lot of all-rounders, actually. So Darren Bravo, Sherfane Rutherford makes up their top 5. And then it's all-rounders, Pretorius, Rashid Khan, Dwayne Jansen. But it's worth remembering that Pretorius is, along with it, Pretorius and Jansen, who won the game. Well, Shepherd lost the game, but Pretorius and Jansen won the game versus the Warriors last time. So people, I'm about for 5 more overs. I will be departing the live after the power play because I do have to write this match report. So I'm going to give myself the remaining 15 overs of the Patriots innings to write this power play, to write this match report, which I've only just started in the interval. So yeah, just trying something here, seeing what the engagement is if I stick around for the power play of the second innings before I bounce. Brevis plays that one down to long on for 1 run. Dwayne isn't hurt. He is ill today. Yeah, Brevis's CPL so far, 5 matches, 32 runs. Best score 14. He's had a bad one, but he's too talented for something good to not happen. I think when Donovan Miller came on our podcast and said you just have to back the talent and accept that, yeah, he's going to probably go through a bit of a rut, but you just keep backing the talent because the talent's so obscene that you don't inhibit it. All right, 5 for 1, 1.3 overs. And has he got enough of that? Has he gone? No, that's a 6. Someone shouted catch, but no one ain't catching that. That's gone out the ground. And Lewis, first 6 of the over. Again, Lewis hasn't got going yet this tournament. Again, he's another one where you're like, when's your big innings coming? Well, he's captaining today, and he moves to 10. Patriots move to 10 for 1. It's actually 11 for 1, not 10 for 1. And he goes after that one. Again, cut through the covers, more runs. That's 4. That's 4. Patriots move to 15 for 1. 1 more ball left of the second over. Chase has gone for 11. You give Lewis room, he's going to take you on. Now, obviously, sometimes that's both his strength. And of course, with players like that, it can be their downfall. But more often than not, if you give someone like Evan Lewis that room, he's going to lick you down. Let's see how Chase follows up with the final ball of the second over. Again, bit of space, bit of route. Oh, is that dropped? Was that a drop? He's gone after that. He's cut that one into cover. Is that dropped? Was that dropped? People in the comments, was that dropped or did that just drop short of Alzari Joseph? Alzari Joseph positioned at cover as it just died on him at the last. If you're in the live, first time you're in the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, watch along, do press like, do subscribe. We're on the road to 4K. We just passed 3K, so now we're on the road to 4K for the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Currently, so at the start of this live, we were on 3,003 subscribers. We're now on 3,024 subscribers. So do press thank you to all those who have joined from this live. Become a subscriber. If you're new to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, do watch our latest episode. That's out. That's out. I don't know what that shot was from Brevis. Oh my God. Oh my God. Brevis has got away with it. I don't know what you call that shot. What was that? A paddle slog? I don't know. Leg side paddle. What was that shot? Anyone want to try to describe that shot to me? What is that? Or did he just not? Maybe Brevis didn't read that. I don't know what that shot was. Either way, Johnson Charles running backwards and didn't even get a hand on it. Should have taken it. It's difficult, but you at least got to get a hand on it. He didn't even get a hand on that. Or maybe I'm being harsh. Either way, Brevis catches a life. Is that the life that Brevis needs to get going in this competition? Patriots at 18 for 1. Sorry, people just messaging someone. Evan rocks back on that one, brings out the pull shot, and that's another 6. Sorry, people, just got distracted there. Somebody was messaging me from the Caribbean, had to reply, So that 6 from Evan Lewis takes the Patriots to 24. Was that on the 4? Actually, that's a 6. That takes the Patriots to 24 for 1. 3 more balls left of the third over. They're off to a bit of a flyer here. Yeah, Vicious summed it up. Anything fractionally short, and Lewis is going after it. And 8.5 times, 9 times out of 10, you're getting licked down out of the ground as a result. Sensible shot there from Lewis. So guides that one through the covers. Just guides it. Touch. Yeah, Bish calls that a defensive push. Guides it through the covers. It's another 4. Yes, Fireball, I agree. Lewis is up for a good night tonight, So, having seen how the Patriots the Kings got off to a good start. Remember, they were 60 at the end of the power play. Oh, he gone. Nicked him, surely. He's gone. Ford gets him. Nick's behind. Lewis goes 24. Well bowled, Matthew Ford. Gets that one in the corridor of uncertainty. Lewis had to play at it, and Nick's behind. That's brilliant bowling. Lewis had to play at that. Listen, that's a wicked delivery. Some of them you have to give to the bowler, and that one you give to the bowler. So guess who comes in now? Bravo? Yeah, it has to be Bravo. So, I mean, Bravo's not been on form, but the tactic should be clear here. You basically have to say to Bravo, everyone bats around you. So even if Bravo only goes at 100, even if Bravo's only able to get 100 at 100, so even if Bravo's only able to get a strike over 100, because he's not going much over that, is he? Then you say to everyone else, right, you bat around him. But of course, for that to work, Bravo has to actually stay in. But we shall see. A lot of people are highly critical of Bravo As I said, I think on the last live I did, I refuse to give up on Brav. Like people, I mean, I'll give up on him in 2020 cricket, but people give up on. Sorry, people have given up on Bravo as if he still doesn't have one of the best records in the Caribbean, which says more about the underdevelopment of other players in the region. But the way people cuss out Bravo, you'd think he'd never done anything in West Indies cricket. Bots have come back. I don't see no bots. Where's the bots? Where's the bots, people? I don't see them. So here we go. So Vish is saying Darren is cooked. And I'm not saying, where's the bots? They're not coming through on my feed, people. Whichever bots you're seeing, I'm not seeing. So yeah, people saying Darren's cooked. I'm not saying he's not. What I am saying is I'm not going to say he is at 33. I'm not writing him off. You don't, to me, you don't write off somebody who still has probably, apart from probably Craig, still has the best international record, certainly in red ball cricket in the region. In fact, better than Craig. Look his average. I just don't think you write that type of player off. I still think you support them and hope they can find their form back. That's my personal view on it, anyways. But T20 cricket, yeah, I mean, not sure about Bravo and T20 cricket, never have been. But in this context, the role should be clear. Anyways, Kings are right in this. 28 for 2, 3 overs. In comes the enforcer, Alzari Joseph. 2 more overs from me, and then I'm out of here. No, sorry, it's 3 more overs, sorry. Ooh, great delivery from Joseph. Great delivery. Has Brevis fending outside the off stump on the fourth stump off stump line. Brevis lucky not to get a nick on that. Yo, first time I seen you in today's live. No, we're not doing an all-nighter. My energy levels were good today. No falling asleep. No squinting on my eyes. I'm doing up until the end of the power play. Brevis has gone after that one. I don't know if he's got enough. Yes, he has. That said, did he not have enough? It's a big 6. Is this Brevis's night tonight? Yes or no? Either way, 34 for 2. That was a no-look 6 as well. Impetuous of youth. This Brevis boy reminds me of what I used to think about Hetmeyer when Hetmeyer was a young buck coming up through the system. I used to see some of Hetmeyer's shots at like 19, 20 and go, this young buck looks serious. And he cuts that one through. Oh, no, well fielded by Johnson Charles. 4th ball of the over, Zari comes back in. And Brevis works that into the leg side for 1. Brandon who? Brandon King. Is that who we're talking about? So Brandon King, I don't know. What you're describing, Tashan, though, is basically every West Indian cricketer. In essence, of this era, they look good, and then, or outside edge from Bravo runs away for 4. It was soft hands, in fairness. Soft hands, it runs away for 4. Yeah, I don't think it's anything specific to Brandon. I think that's every single West Indian cricketer in the region. Yeah, Vish, I kind of agree. I think once he called, what's his name, Cameron, a big idiot. I think that whole thing. I think Brandon. I think Bravo's mental was affected by that whole period. Good short ball there from Alzari. And then when he came back, I always say that they messed Bravo up when he came back, because when they called Bravo, I've said this so many times, when they called Bravo back to the test side, he had barely played any domestic cricket. So then he played, does anyone remember that epic 50 he played in Antigua against England? Basically was the innings of the match. It's the series that we won 2-1. That knock was like 50 off. It was the last 50 in international cricket, like 50 off 260 balls or something ridiculous. And he was taking licks on his body, but he was scratchy because he was called back before he'd really got his eye in. And then when he goes out, gets concussion versus injured. Then when he gets his go again in New Zealand, he gets 3 tests in New Zealand, fails. 2 tests in New Zealand, fails. And we ain't seen him since in red ball cricket. Don't make no sense to me. Oh, now has he got enough on that? That might be out. That might be out. That might be out. He's gone. Gone. Ford gets his 3rd. Brevis gives that away. I'm sorry. He gives that away. Again, we call it, I'm calling it what I call it, the impetuous of youth. He's gone for that no-look 6 again. He's gone for that no-look 6, but hasn't even caught it. Okay, so at this point now, 3 wickets in the power play. Shafane Rutherford has to come in. 3 wickets in the power play. This is St. Lucia's game to lose at this specific point. Obviously, if the Patriots put together a partnership, then it changes the dynamics. But if you ask me at this specific point, St. Lucia should be favourites. You take 3 wickets in the power play, you're supposed to go on and crack on and win. But we might see roles reversed here where Patriots come good in the back end. Who knows? But yeah, Kings are favourites at this point. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go as far as saying he doesn't know what he's doing, but that was a dunce shot, because you see them no look shots. When it comes off, okay, cool. We say bad man shot. What a talented youngster, but sometimes with Brevis, you just get this sense where it's like, are you playing the balls? Are you playing each individual ball on the respect it deserves, or are you just licking like what? Like, I don't know. But again, he's young, so you back him all the same. Right. So how long left till I come out of this thing? 4.2. 10 more balls, people, and then locking off the live, you know? Ford does bowl really well, though. Give him that. Bravo tries to climb on top of that one and cut it. No run. The problem for Vish, the problem for someone like Ford, though, remember he's Bayesian, yeah? That's a wide ball. Bowl that again. One second. I'm just listening to something Bish is saying here. Bish is saying about Rutherford getting himself into West Indies colours, like he don't know that Rutherford doesn't want to take no fitness test and take it serious. Anyways, my point is this. So Ford, is Bayesian, but the express line of paces in Barbados is so long. How does someone like Matthew Ford get a game unless someone from another franchise takes him? So, for example, I'm just going to say some names to you who can all represent Barbados during the domestic season. Roach, Holder, obviously. Chamar Holder, Akeem Jordan, Keon Harding, Ramon Simmons. Then I'm getting to Matthew Ford. I didn't even mention someone like Shamar Springer, Justin Graves. So it's hard for these Bayesian bowlers to get their chances, you know? Bravo cuts that, gets on top of the bounce, and just fielded by Vista on the boundary. I think they only came for one. Possibly Tashan, but now Rashid Khan's there. He ain't getting no look in unless they drop Jaden Carmichael. But obviously, Jaden Carmichael's the left arm offie. Dhananjaya has just got some wickets, so they're not going to drop Dhananjaya. Look at this now. Right, one more ball left of the fifth over. And that's left alone outside the off stump. Right. People, one more over of my, 2.5 hour stint. One more over of the power play. And then I do have to lock this off because I have to go write this match report. So when I do go to lock it off, when I do go to lock this off, just want to thank everybody who's been in the live today, whatever time you jumped in. Thank you to anyone who pressed like. Thank you to anyone who pressed subscribe. Thank you to anyone who's following the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. If you haven't listened to our latest episode, we interviewed Jake Lushmakrum, who is the CEO for the Royals Group. So that's Rajasthan Royals, Barbados Royals, and the soon-to-be PAL Royals in the South Africa T20. And he gives a really interesting insight into what they're trying to create at the Barbados Royals, as well as talking about Rajasthan, etc. So it's really worth a listen. It's on our YouTube page, episode 73. But if you're somebody who likes audio streaming, then it's everywhere: Apple, Spotify, Podbean, etc., etc., etc. So worth going to listen to that episode if you're yet to do so. So, Alzari Joseph bowling this final over of the power play. Five balls to go to press subscribe if you're yet to subscribe to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Somebody just subscribed. We're up to 3,025. Vish says these two need to bat a bit. Faf won't be able to use Larry. Oh, good point, Vish. Yeah, sorry, I hadn't even thought about that. Oh, good bouncer there by Alzari. Sherfane Matrix is out of the way of that one. Tashan says, Mash, forgot to tell you that the Jake Lushmakrum interview was very interesting and intriguing. I shared a review of their business school course and analytics. I like their work. Yeah, big up yourself, Tashan. Thank you for that. Everyone go take a listen. It's a really interesting interview with the CEO. and Rutherford's able to work that on the leg side. They should come through for 1. 3 more balls left of the power play. And just a reminder that at the end of the power play, the Kings were 61 without loss. So actually, 61 without loss, which means in the remaining 14 overs, they went 100 for 9. Which is a bit shambolic. But they'll be fine with that because Patriots have lost 3 wickets in their power play. Oh, Bravo tries to pull that back down. The wicket, no run. So there are... Oh, it's the last ball. Last ball of the power play, people. I will be signing off after this last ball. See what Alzari's got in his locker here. Again, goes short. 2... Boy, what? How many clicks was it on that? It should be what? Should be... Yeah, it's wide on height. Wide on height. That's 5 runs. It's gone for 4, and it's a wide. There was some serious gas on that one. This is why Alzari's going to be useful in Australia on those wickets. There was some serious gas. Bravo should be glad to just duck under that one. 5 runs, and Alzari will have to bowl that one again. So, I mean, good, yes, some lovely gas on that, but also it's a bit of a dunce delivery in terms of too much gas on it. Alzari will have to go again. 1 more ball of the power play. I feel like that was an intimidation ball by Alzari Joseph. But too much intimidation. See, we should be full and straight here. Yeah, full and straight. And no run. That's the end of the power play. So, people, that's the end of the power play. That's the end of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast live for today. Thank you for anyone who was in the live today. I've got to go write this match report for the CPL official website. So I've got to go watch the remaining 14 overs and get it done. If you didn't press like or if you didn't press subscribe before I go, please do so now. Really helps the podcast grow. Thank you to anyone with the comments today. Loads of you in the comments as usual, the usual community. Good to see you out here chatting, etc. And like I said earlier in the piece, if you weren't around when I said it, next one I'm doing is Tuesday. We moved to Trinidad now for the Trinidad leg of the tournament. So TKR versus Barbados Royals on Tuesday, and TKR versus the Warriors on Wednesday. I'm doing both of those games, and then TKR versus the Talawars on the Saturday. So if you can jump in any of those, people, see you then. But big up yourselves. Peace, everyone. Keep following the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. See you all soon as Kesrick Williams comes in for the 7th over. Bravo. Rutherford nearly gets run out. Let me get out of here before I keep chatting. Peace, everyone. Thank you.
We rule the cricket world. Now the rule seems coming.
Welcome to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things West Indies cricket. By the fans, for the fans.